Good morning everyone, welcome to a hot and sticky Queensland, and this morning I'm going to talk to you about my bike packing setup. Basically I've got three modes depending on the sort of trip that I'm going on, and so I'm just going to run through them. Now, as always, if you find this video useful, please hit that subscribe button, the like button and the notification bell. So anyway, I have three modes. The first is the most complicated and the heaviest, and then you've got a middle, number two mode if you like, slightly less complicated and slightly less heavier, and then the last one is the easiest and also the cheapest and also the lightest. So, but first of all, I'm just going to run through the equipment I've got on the bike and just show you what I've got. Here we go. So this is my bike. This is obviously a Giant Explorer E. I've had it for probably 3 years now. I actually love it. It is an e-bike. I do generally ride on the lowest setting just to get as much as I can out of the battery, and sometimes with no power at all, just get used to riding it without power. Now on the back here, I've just got the Giant rack that came with it. Very sturdy, good quality. As you can see, it's had a few bumps. I rode this bike, did 1,000 Ks on this bike from the UK to France in 2019. I have some straps that I've put on it, and the link to that video on making those straps will be at the top or in the description. So moving on, just a normal little toolkit bum bag, saddle bag. Zip's gone on it, so it needs a bit of TLC. And then moving forward, I have two Blackburn outreach cages on the front forks that really just used for carrying water. And then at the front, I have a handlebar bag, which I haven't used that much so far. But it seems good quality at the moment, and the handlebar bag is attached to a carbon handlebar extension that just keeps everything away from the cables. Now on the cables themselves, I just have this cable, computer cable tidies, just to keep it all nice and secure. Now up here on the handlebar, I have a light mount for my lens laser C7 light, a Garmin GPS mount, and a handlebar mount for my phone, my smartphone. So now let's just get going. I'll just show the go through the modes. So this is the first option and the heaviest and probably the most expensive. Now what I've got is two Ortlib high roller panniers, and I carry most of my gear in there. I like to be comfortable, so I don't worry too much necessarily about the weight. I just like to be comfortable. Then I have my tent. That's in a dry bag. This is a Nemo Aurora 2-person. I keep it in the dry bag, just to keep it dry, but I find that that's sometimes better than the actual bag that it's come with. Then on the front handlebars, I normally keep my sleeping mat, again it's a Sea to Summit dry bag. This really just keeps the size down in the actual panniers, so I just get that on the bike. Now here we are with the gear all set up. As you can see, I've got the two Ortlib panniers on the back. On the rack, I normally keep the tent, and it's attached with these two types of paracord. And the knot that I use here is kind of a modified cow hitch. Again, the link is in the description for this knot. Very handy. So that I'm going to keep that on the rack because it's quite tall to fit in each bag. Now the process that I use for my bags is I normally always keep to the same side. So and it depends. I try to be consistent with it. But in one side, I normally have my clothes and my sleeping, and then in the other, I might try and keep the techo stuff and a bit of, the food. So just so that I know exactly if I need something, which side of the bike it's going to be on. Now in these pockets here, like for instance in this one, I have a toolkit. I'm just going to show you this little tip for a toolkit. Now I needed, when I was doing the UK trip to France, I needed a box to keep everything in, keep it dry. I use a lot of Ziploc bags. They're excellent for keeping stuff dry and very cheap. And basically this is a hot chocolate container. Obviously got rid of the hot chocolate and put the tools in. Use the, obviously the lid's cracked on this one, but you know, they're very cheap to replace, so that's good. And in there I've got puncture kits and patches and inner tubes and stuff. So okay, so moving on. We've got more tools and another inner tube in the bag here. You can never have too many inner tubes, just in case you have more than one puncher. So then moving on, obviously water on the Blackburn cage. Moving up to the handlebar bag, which has the sleeping mat. This is a Kathmandu inflating sleeping mat. It has the pump in the pillow, and it is actually very good. I'm a side sleeper, so I like a thick mattress, and this goes to about 70 mil, I think, 70 mil in depth. Weighs about 1 kilo, so it's very light as well. So that's that, and then obviously you've then got all the bits and pieces on the handlebars. They stay the same. Normal drink bottle rack, and obviously a pump. This is my next option. Now these are again 2 Ortlib panniers. However, these are the front panniers, so they're a lot smaller. Obviously when they're smaller, it forces you not to take quite as much gear. Now if I want the option, I do have a front rack that I can put on the bike, and I have used it, and there's a picture here of my setup when I did my UK France trip. I was away for about 6 months, so needed to take a lot of gear, and so I had the big ones on the back, the small ones on the front, but you can use the small ones on the back as well, as I have here, and they force you not to take as much gear. And again at the front I have the sleeping mat along with a bottle. So that's that setup. Very bit lighter, bit cheaper, I suppose a bit easier as well, a bit easier setup, you don't carry as much. Now moving on to the third option. Now this is option 3, and by far the cheapest. Now all I've done with this one is I've used the straps that I made with the cow hitches. I pass them, secure them to the rack, pass them underneath, and then you form kind of a loop, and then you just pass your dry bag through that loop. I'll just show you that loosened off. So here we are with the bag loosened off, and basically all you do is you, with the cow hitch strap, you just pass it through your rack, form an eye, pass your dry bag through the eye, and then you just pull on the 2 ends to tighten it up so that it's right up close to the rack. And then also what I do then is I can then just store again other stuff on top, and you can obviously double that up to this side as well. So that is the cheapest and the easiest and the lightest. Now these dry bags you can get, these are Sea to Summit ones, so they're quite expensive. These are the venting ones, which I probably wouldn't get again, but the Sea to Summit ones are quite expensive, but you can get a lot cheaper dry bags. And if you already have a rack on your bike, this is an ideal solution for it. I am not a fan of these big bags that come out of the back of your saddle. I have seen them wiggling, and on a long trip I think that would be very annoying. Again, on the front, got the Kathmandu mattress, air mattress, and obviously the water. And that is the easiest and cheapest. It costs you only a few cents, few pence to make up these straps, and they're actually excellent. That is my 3 setups. I hope you found it useful. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like I say, if you have found it useful and enjoyable, please like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Again, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below, and the links to all the equipment will also be in the comments below. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.